Hey, Round Hill Baptists, while reading through the Bible, what makes you say, what? Today's passages are Leviticus 10, Psalms 11 and 12, Proverbs 25, and 1 Thessalonians 4. We're going to look at the question of the series of questions I gave you about what challenges me in this passage. You'll know when something challenges you in the Bible, when you naturally react to like, wait, what? Or you may say, why did that happen? Why did God do that? Like in Leviticus 10, we see where the Aaron's sons, Nadab and Abihu, that is a hard name to say. And we're probably saying that wrong anyway, so don't get too hung up on Hebrew names, because just our English dialogue is different than a Semitic dialogue, so we're probably just saying that wrong anyway. But did you notice that Aaron's sons, they died because they offered unauthorized fire? What is that about? Or maybe it doesn't have to just be like just not understanding where that context comes from, why that action happened. It may become a challenge, maybe more of a conviction. Like in Proverbs 25, 6 and 7, it was really convicting to me where it says, do not exalt yourself in the king's presence. Do not claim a place among the great men. It is better for him to say to you, come up here, than for him to humiliate you before a noble man. Now that's pretty convicting, because I don't know about you, but naturally I tend to, even if I don't even plan on it, but there may be someone up on stage, or there may be a podcast I'm listening to, or a video I'm watching, and I think I could explain that a lot better. They should put me on stage. I mean, that's not what I'm saying automatically, but that's something that I just feel. But that is a challenging passage right there, 2 verses right there, that says, hey, Josh, you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself, right? Or even if it may challenge just our cultural norms. 1 Thessalonians 4, 11 through 12, make it your ambition to lead a quiet life, to mind your own business, and to work with your hands, just as we told you, so that your daily life may win the respect of outsiders, so that you will not be dependent on anybody. Now, our culture tells us that if you want to make an impact, that you got to step up your platform. You got to be a big YouTube star. You got to be a celebrity of some kind. Those are the people that make real changes, real impacts. You got to be a big politician. But that's not what Paul is saying here. And it's not what he's telling the Thessalonians in this letter. What he's saying is, hey, live a quiet life. Be ordinary. Love your neighbor. That's a challenge. That's a challenge. So what do you do when you are confronted with a difficult passage? First thing, I have 4 things for you. First thing is, do not panic. Don't panic. Do not think, well, that can't be right. Don't think, I don't understand. Or even if it's convicting, don't say, oh, I'm the worst person in the world. Real Christians recognize they're sinners and are not surprised when they sin. They hate when they sin. They don't like it when they sin. But they're not surprised by it. Don't panic. Second thing you can do is don't try to explain it by criticizing ancient people, their societies, or their thoughts. So what I mean by that is we can look at the Bible and say, oh, well, that's just barbarianism back in the ancient times, that Aaron's sons, God killed Aaron's sons. That's just, God didn't really kill them. They just didn't know any better. It must have been some kind of medical issue there, or maybe they put some poison in the burner, or whatever the case may be that caused them to die. So that's criticizing their ancient thoughts and their ancient practices. We first have to take God's word as His word, and say, okay, what is happening here? And the reality is that those ancient societies and people and customs, in a lot of ways, were a lot smarter than we are, and knew and had a lot more strengths and different strengths than we do today. Now, we may have technology, but one of the things they had as an oral society that not many people were literate, but many of them knew stories, is that their ability to remember things was a lot better than ours. Studies have shown where people that from oral traditions are able to remember a lot more of stories and of things that people have said than people that are from literate traditions like ours. It's just something that happens, that when we have it written down, then our minds automatically switch to, well, I want to remember that number. If you're old enough, you remember life before cell phones. You remember, I remember a time when we didn't have cell phones. And if you asked me my friend's number, I knew it. But if you ask me my friend's number now, I don't. Why? Because this is my phone. I don't need to remember it. Same thing happened with the ancient tradition. So don't automatically just explain a challenging thing by criticizing the ancient people or society or thought. But likewise, don't boast in our modern thoughts. Just because we live in a more technological age does not mean that we are better. Does not mean that we know more than they do. The fact of the matter is that we may be handicapped more than they are in our thought process. Lastly, if you're finding yourself reading through the Bible and you have a lot of challenges, like where you're a lot of like, wait, what passages that you're just like, I don't understand this. Let me encourage you to buy a study Bible. Now, a study Bible is the Bible, but it comes with commentary on the passage. So most study Bibles, they'll have good scholars that will comment on it, or people that know, and so they'll have comments. A lot of times, or all the times, the study Bibles are a lot thicker than just a regular Bible with no commentary, because it has a commentary on there. So let me encourage you to look up the NIV Life Application Bible. It's a good one, good place to start. The NIV Jesus Bible that Passion City Church down in Atlanta, Georgia, they put out several years ago. It's a good Bible to see how all of the Bible connects with the gospel, that it all points to Christ. That's what its purpose as the Jesus Bible is trying to do, is show you how it all points to Christ. And lastly, and probably even the best study Bible I've seen, is the ESV, the English Standard Version Study Bible, with a lot of good scholarship in it, and just helps you understand the context, helps you understand what's going on there, why maybe that happened. So make sure you look at that and do that. So remember, don't panic. Don't try to explain by criticizing ancient people or society or thought. Don't try to boast in our own modern thoughts and societies. And if you need to, buy a study Bible. They're fairly cheap. I think at most they're about $50 or so. But you can find them I've seen them as cheap as like $20. So look out for those. Christianbook.com is a good place. Amazon.com is a good place. Check those out and buy one. It helps you read through the Bible, and it helps you just have a little better footing of what you're reading and understanding of what you're reading. Tomorrow's reading is Leviticus 11 and 12, Psalms 13 and 14, Proverbs 26, and 1 Thessalonians 5. Until then, I see you tomorrow. I'm so glad that we're doing this together. Keep reading, and I'll see you tomorrow.